From the city to the suburbs, our region is thriving. In Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, an historic transformation is underway. Renaissance, revival, resurgence. We're not just fixing up, we're growing up, getting bigger and better. From the mom and pops to the biggest of them all, opportunities abound. This is Growing Greater Philadelphia.
Welcome to Growing Greater Philadelphia. I'm NBC 10's Tracy Davidson. With a history built on hard work and invention and a present fueled by innovation and collaboration, our region's future is brighter than ever. Join us as we explore the inspiring stories behind the people, places, and projects driving growth across Greater Philadelphia.
You can follow this map around and see exactly where you're supposed to go during any event.
This is The Cave, a completely immersive visualization system with some serious applications.
The Cave is a large-scale virtual reality system that allows multiple users, up to 24 at a time, to come in and experience virtual reality and simulations in one space, working together, collaborating to confront various issues and topics that are current and ongoing.
Located at the South Jersey Technology Park, just off Rowan University's campus, everyone from medical doctors to NASA have tasked the team here to help them visualize scenarios that otherwise would be impossible or take too much time and money to complete.
This is a virtual simulation of Long Beach Island, where we can actually flood the place and see how a hurricane would impact the region.
The capabilities of The Cave allow towns like Long Beach Island to prepare for the impacts of major storms in their community long before they actually occur.
The blue lines tell you evacuation routes that are still accessible. But as the storm intensifies over time and we begin crunching more numbers and calculating new data, we can visualize exactly which areas are then going to be impacted by the flooding.
And when officials from Philadelphia were preparing for the largest crowds in the city's history, they came here.
What we have over here is our Pope meter, and this Pope meter tells us how far away we are from the Pope at any point in time. We were able to visualize the crowds, how large, how many people you could actually contain in a single area, and basically create a giant infographic explaining everything about the event before it even happened. What if there was an event that caused everyone to need to evacuate? We visualize. That's how we understand concepts. So when you take the abstract information and convert it into a visualization, it means immediate understanding. And that's what really brings this whole system together, is the ability to make anyone understand complicated topics.
The Cave is revolutionary. Its applications are endless.
The South Jersey Technology Park at Rowan University is the place where our faculty and students' technology transition into the marketplace. This is where entrepreneurs from the university come, businesses are spun out, and businesses spin in to work with our students and faculty.
If you have an idea to create something, maybe develop a product or business, but you don't know where to do it, there's a place on Washington Avenue in South Philly that can help turn your dreams into reality.
Welcome to NextFab. NextFab is a shared workshop space. We operate kind of like a gym, so you can join as a member.
No matter your skill level, this collaborative makerspace can help turn your ideas into reality.
The purpose of NextFab is really to foster economic development and personal empowerment by granting people access to these tools that would otherwise be cost prohibitive or maybe a little bit exclusive.
We are here on our first floor in the metal shop. On your left, there are traditional metalworking tools. Behind that curtain, you'll see our welding area. We have education that can teach a complete beginner welding theory all the way up to advanced welding techniques.
People can come in, conquer a new skill, a new tool, make something that they didn't even know that was possible. And that's a really transformative experience for many people.
In here we have our wood shop. Furniture makers, designers, architects. Wood shop is also a really good place to come for beginners. This cutting board is an example of something that's made in one of our classes. It's a good starting point to test your skills, and it also can act as a last-minute Christmas gift for someone. This space is our 3D printing and laser room. 3D printing and lasers are really great for those first prototypes, so not quite something you're going to go in production with, but something that's going to help you test out how it's going to feel and how it's going to look. This mechanical device was cut using a laser. They can accomplish a lot of what 3D printing can much faster.
Right now, NextFab has 3 locations, each with its own special features and equipment.
We chose the slogan, "The Future of Making," because we thought it really communicated that this isn't a return to just making everything with your hands the way that we used to. This is a step into the future. This involves tools that are more efficient, more precise, cleaner, easier to operate, and can do things that maybe the manual work couldn't do. And we're making this accessible to everyone.
Coming up,
this is a chance to view our city in a different way.
next generation breakthroughs are happening in your backyard.
We're dedicated to advancing science to benefit humankind.
Plus, a new device allows you to cash in on the use of your car.
For something that costs, about $200, you can earn $150 a month in revenue.
Growing Greater Philadelphia is brought to you by Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Welcome back to Growing Greater Philadelphia. Imagine getting paid for the use of your car when you're not using it. If you own an electric vehicle, a trailblazing technology developed in our own backyard may soon connect you with a new source of income.
A AAA study released in 2016 found the average driver takes 2.1 trips per day, totaling 48.4 minutes and 29.8 miles traveled. These facts grabbed the attention of University of Delaware professor Willett Kempton, who studies electric vehicles.
You've got batteries that are good for maybe 100, 200-mile trip. Most days they're used for 20 miles.
Electric vehicles can generate over 10 kilowatts, enough power to supply 10 homes.
One of the things I've invented and been working on for the last 20 years is V2G technology. That stands for Vehicle to Grid. It's using electric vehicles to store electricity from the power grid. That's what any electric vehicle does. But our innovation is to also discharge power from the battery back into the electric grid.
Professor Kempton has been fine-tuning his invention with several modified vehicles.
This is the pair of boards that the University of Delaware designed, and then we wrote the software that runs on this board. So that's our added control intelligence monitoring that goes into the car.
Vehicles with V2G act like a sponge, absorbing excess energy and returning it to the grid when needed.
And that turns out to be valuable and useful to the grid.
That give and take can also benefit the car owner's bank account.
For something that costs, about $200, you can earn $150 a month in revenue.
The vehicles must be plugged into a special charging station to allow metering by the power company and tracking by the owner with an app.
You can see the battery almost full.
V2G is already in use in northern Delaware, as well as overseas in Denmark and the Netherlands. To make the program widely available, Professor Kempton hopes that automakers will include this technology in future designs.
It's a good experience for students. They're actually working on cutting-edge technologies rather than, kind of repeating some lab that's been done the same way for the past 10 years. But this obviously could scale. So those are all potential benefits to the university and region.
Greater Philadelphia is a top 10 region for life sciences jobs. With more than 800 companies and 49,000 employees, the next generation of medical breakthroughs are happening right here.
University City is home to some of our region's most innovative academic and research institutions. In the heart of this West Philly neighborhood is one that's been transforming global health for 126 years.
The Wistar Institute is the nation's very first biomedical research institute, and we're dedicated to advancing science to benefit humankind.
Originally built as an anatomical museum in 1892, the institute transitioned into a research and training center in the early 1900s. Since, many important scientific breakthroughs have occurred here.
Vaccines against rubella, vaccines against rotavirus, oral rabies vaccine for animals.
In 1972, Wistar was named by the National Cancer Institute as a designated cancer center.
To become a member of that club is a sign of scientific prominence and recognition.
Today, the Institute remains a global biomedical research leader focused on vaccine and immunology and cancer.
Tremendous efforts have been devoted to understanding and coming up with better ways to treat melanoma, prostate cancer, and lung cancer. And in the area of vaccines, we have a strong commitment on some of the emerging threats for infectious diseases.
Education and training are also central to their mission.
The mandate for places like ours is really to provide a home, a sanctuary, so that young scientists can come pursue their scientific interest and curiosity.
Recently, Wistar launched a biomedical research technician apprenticeship, the first of its kind in the nation.
This program is taking students from Community College of Philadelphia and giving them a structured introduction to how to be a scientist and how to be that critical team player.
We have a growing industry, and this area has many companies, many academic research institutions that can use these people in their labs.
Employers will know that the technicians are coming in with a level of training that will allow them to immediately make important contributions to the scientific mission.
The recent addition of nearly 90,000 square feet of new lab space has the Wistar Institute positioned to build on its pioneering legacy.
We're really a neutral organization that can contribute, what we do best, which is our research.
We have an infrastructure, we have the talents, we have the people to really tackle those big questions.
It's no secret that Philadelphia was a crucial hub of the American Revolution. And thanks to a wildly successful Broadway musical, our interest in the Revolutionary period has been renewed. Now a new exhibit lets you walk the streets of Philadelphia with Alexander Hamilton as he championed our new republic.
The Hamilton exhibit here at the Museum of the American Revolution, it's inspired in some ways by the popularity of Lin-Manuel Miranda's musical about Alexander Hamilton. The musical is all about New York, so we wanted to make sure Philadelphia had its moment in the Hamilton story.
Who wants to shoot a cannon?
Hamilton was here. Rising Up in Revolutionary Philadelphia is an interactive playscape focused on Alexander Hamilton's extraordinary contributions to the nation's founding.
It's a story of Hamilton through the prism of his experiences in Philadelphia that hasn't really been told.
So Alexander Hamilton, he's 19 years old, and he decides he wants to get glory by being an artillery commander.
We wanted to make it active. We wanted people to remember it because they had done a version of it.
There are also some surprises in bringing Hamilton's history to life.
How many people are aware that he's considered, in many ways, the founder of the Coast Guard? How many people know that Hamilton participated in his first duel here in Philadelphia, in Port Richmond, in a location that we think is currently a Target parking lot?
Sponge the peace.
Hamilton Was Here only runs through March 2019, but the museum will continue to celebrate the founding father throughout the year.
To go along with the hands-on exhibit, we also have original Hamilton objects rotating through the core exhibit during the whole year of Hamilton.
Fire!
This is a chance to view our city in a different way, to learn where to go and find in the fabric of this wonderful city, which I like to call the museum we live in, the historic sites where Hamilton had his rise.
Coming up, the future of urban education.
We decided that we're going to throw out traditional textbooks.
And a massive chunk of change to inspire change in our communities.
We are entering into this market with $3 billion in lending opportunities.
Growing Greater Philadelphia is brought to you by Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Welcome back to Growing Greater Philadelphia. Imagine an inner-city school where entrepreneurship is part of the curriculum and collaborating with real companies is your classroom.
Let me get that iced vanilla latte.
This is Cafe Vine. Like most cafes, they offer a variety of coffee, drinks, and pastries. But this one is in a public school and run by the students.
We saw that they were all coming in with coffee every morning, and we wanted to find a way to kind of connect a lot of their cultural experiences with their learning.
Philadelphia's string theory schools have been pioneers in progressive education since 2013.
We put $10,000 into an account for them to manage, and we told them, this is not an after-school bake sale for you, and we want you to, manage this just like you would a business.
We sold out of all our food. I think that's always great.
String Theory is K-12, tuition-free, and offers all of the traditional subjects required for students to graduate. But that's where the similarities end.
So you guys did 16 samples from 8 different restaurants, and we found that 10 of them were replaced.
The STEAM-based curriculum is supported by facilities that include a biotechnology lab, TV and broadcast production, a motion capture studio, an engineering and robotics lab, and a kitchen studio.
And it's really about allowing kids to have the flexibility to pursue their passion.
What you won't see are textbooks.
We know that how kids consume content and now how they create content is first and foremost through mobile. So we decided that we're going to throw out traditional textbooks.
In September 2017, the school announced their next step toward the future of urban education.
Particle is a new type of collaboration space where students work alongside really innovative startup companies on design projects.
In exchange for free office space in the school, companies must provide an educational benefit.
What we were afforded was an opportunity to work in a space with students who are kind of our target audience, but then also help teach them how to make games and really help grow the game community here in the city.
Logos and branding, packaging and manufacturing, prototyping, web design, TV, photography services, social media are all things that kids are getting experiences here in the building with. We're developing a 21st century workforce, and being able to provide a entrepreneurial experience for them allows them to become confident decision makers. It allows them to be creative leaders, and by the time they're getting out of high school, they're really making much more mature decisions in life.
Optimism is soaring across Greater Philadelphia, thanks in part to a boom in economic development. Now, the largest bank in the U.S. is investing here, providing hundreds of jobs and committing millions of dollars to help our communities.
Philadelphia is the 7th largest urban community in the country, and so we've been eager to have a presence here.
J.P. Morgan Chase has long been a part of the Philadelphia landscape.
We've been there for 20 years. We've had a commercial presence, a small business presence. We've had private banking, but what better way to round out our delivery than to have branches?
Chase will open 50 new branches over the next 5 years, bringing with them a plethora of opportunity.
We are entering into this market with $3 billion in lending opportunities. We are entering with pro-neighborhoods where we have $125 million. $5 million is going to the Kensington area, and so that $5 million investment is going to shift that community from an economic perspective.
The company's commitment to community is just as focused on their workforce.
In Philadelphia, we'll be hiring 300 employees at $16.50 an hour. That's above the living wage. What does that mean? It means more opportunity to save, more purchasing power, but more importantly, it's the generational impacts that are going to allow their children to have education opportunities and to further their legacy of saving.
For both employees and customers, every new branch will be technology-driven with a strong focus on digital.
We will meet the need of the millennial who wants to come in and get out with the EATM, the traditional customer who wants to sit down and discuss their future and their savings with a banker, and if pressed and they absolutely want to do a transaction in a telewindow, well, we have that too.
With more than 1 million current customers throughout the region, the new branches will serve as the heart and soul for all Chase business.
We are a national bank that cares about the communities that we are entering into. We're going to bring service. We're obsessed with customer service. We're obsessed with employees. We believe in hiring locally so that our customers have the best experience they can have in our branches.
Growing Greater Philadelphia is brought to you by Chase. Make more of what's yours. Growing Greater Philadelphia is brought to you by Chase. Make more of what's yours.
We're going from a creative society into a creative economy where these creative skill sets are becoming valued, and I really think this is the future of urban education, allowing kids to figure out what type of creatives they are, what type of problem solvers they are.
Greater Philadelphia is full of makers, doers, professionals, crafters who are super passionate, and we're doing our part to connect people with great ideas and trying to keep talent here and grow businesses here.
From nonprofit organizations to foundations to government to local economic development groups to all of the for-profit startups and big pharma partners, by bringing everyone together for a single mission of advancing science, I think that that can only benefit our region.
The Greater Philadelphia region can lead the world in enterprise, social impact, charity, philanthropy, entrepreneurship, and economic output. We have a vibrant maritime infrastructure, rail freight infrastructure. We have world-class hospitals. We have world-class universities. And that's foundational to not only serving citizens, but spawning new types of industries. And that is really important.
Thank you for joining us as we explore the exciting growth of our region. For information or to watch this episode and others, visit NBC10.com/GGP and be social with the hashtag #GrowGreaterPHL. We'll see you next time on Growing Greater Philadelphia.
Growing Greater Philadelphia in partnership with the Select Greater Philadelphia Council. Learn more at selectgreaterphl.com.